ఇంటర్మీడియట్ విద్యా రంగంలో అగ్రగామి మన ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్. ఐఐటి జేఈఈ అయినా నీట్ అయినా తిరుగులేని విద్యా సంస్థ ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్.
Okay. So next we can discuss about, we discussed already about quotient of real expansion, volume apparent expansion and the relation between these two. When the liquid level rises, when the liquid level falls, when it remains constant, everything we discussed. So now in case of density, let us say how the density of the liquid varies with the temperature. Already in solids we discussed already same concept, but here variation of density of liquid with the temperature. Variation of density of liquid with temperature. Variation of density of liquid with temperature. So here again same concept we can consider, mass is equals to volume into density, we know. So due to increase in temperature, mass remains constant. Here one more remember one more thing, liquid does not vaporize. We are not going to that condition. Liquid does not vaporized. So that means it does not boil. We are not considering up to the boiling point, just we are considering in between these two. So very certain rise of temperature. So mass remains constant. So volume into density, let us say D or rho, whatever it is. So volume into rho density remains constant. So from this we can write V1 rho 1 is equals to V2 rho 2. So V1 is equals to V1 rho 1 is equals to, due to rise in temperature, it can be 1 plus gamma R into T2 minus T1 into rho 2. So due to rise in temperature, liquid must expands. In this situation, we must consider the quotient of real expansion of the liquid. In this, of course, liquids having two types of expansions. What are those? Quotient of apparent expansion and quotient of real expansion. But while considering the density, we must consider quotient of real expansion. Why only it is real expansion? Because the density depends on the liquid only. Here we are discussing about density of the liquid. We are not considering the density of the container. So that's why we must consider quotient of real expansion of the liquid. So from this we can write rho 1 is equals to rho 2 into 1 plus gamma R into T2 minus T1. Rho 1 is equals to rho 2 into 1 plus gamma R into T2 minus T1. So this is the concept. That means density varies with temperature. How the density varies with temperature? Density of the liquid decreases with increase in temperature. This is the initial density and this is the final density. Or from this we can write rho 2 is equals to rho 1 divided by 1 plus gamma R into T2 minus T1. So that means, so density decreases due to increase in temperature. Density decreases due to increase in temperature, or density increases due to decrease in temperature. That means if you rise the temperature, density decreases. If you lower the temperature, lower is the temperature, then density increases. So that is the variation of density with temperature. Variation of density with temperature. While considering the density, we must consider coefficient of real expansion. While considering the density, we must consider coefficient of real expansion. Don't consider quotient of apparent expansion. We must consider real expansion. That is. Next condition. Here one example problem here. Let us discuss about one example problem. Let us say this is the silver container. Next it is, for example, aluminum container. Silver and aluminum. Initially I am considering same amount of water in these two. Same amount of water in these two containers. One is silver and one is aluminum. And same liquid is taken into these two. Let us say it is water and it is also water. Now if the temperature increases in both the situations, if the temperature increases in both the situations, the liquid level rises here like this and the liquid level rises here like this. There must be difference in the rise of the liquid, must be difference in the rise of the liquid. What is the reason here? So in these two cases, see here, same liquid is heating in two different containers. Same liquid is heating in two different containers. Let us say quotient of apparent expansion of silver is, let us say S, and alpha of silver is, let us say X. Next, here quotient of apparent expansion of aluminum is A and alpha of aluminum is, let us say, Y here. So from this, find the value of Y. That is a question. Here the question format will be like this. If the same liquid is heated in aluminum and silver vessels, same liquid is heated in aluminum and silver vessels, let the quotient of apparent expansion of silver is S and apparent expansion of aluminum is A, and the quotient of linear expansion of the silver is X. Find the quotient of linear expansion of aluminum. So that is the question format like this. Find the value of Y here. Same liquid is heated in two different containers. Same liquid is heated in two different containers. If the same liquid is same, what is the value remains constant here? If the liquid is same, what is the constant? Gamma R is constant. Quotient of real expansion is constant. If the same liquid is considered in two different situations, what is the quantity remains constant? Quotient of real expansion remains constant. Quotient of real expansion remains constant. So from this, we know gamma R is equals to gamma A plus gamma G. So gamma R in case of silver is equals to gamma R in case of aluminum. So that means gamma A plus gamma G of silver is equals to gamma A plus gamma G of aluminum. That is a concept. Same liquid is heated in two different containers. What is the quantity remains constant? Quotient of real expansion, because it depends only on the nature of the liquid. Depends only on the nature of the liquid. Does not depends on any other factors like that. So gamma A plus gamma G of silver is equals to gamma A plus gamma G of aluminum. Gamma A of silver is given as how much? Yes. So let us gamma A plus, so 3 alpha G of S is equals to gamma A plus gamma G can be written as 3 alpha G of aluminum. Gamma G is the quotient of volume expansion of the glass, that's why that can be written as 3 alpha. So gamma A of silver is S, plus 3, quotient of linear expansion of silver is X. Next, gamma A of aluminum is A plus it is 3Y. Quotient of linear expansion of aluminum is Y. S plus 3X equals to A plus 3Y. So, from this S plus 3X minus A is equals to 3Y. So, S plus 3X minus A divided by 3 is equals to Y. So, that is the answer. S plus 3x minus A by 3 is equals to Y. So, that is the value of Y. So, very simple. Same liquid is heated in two different containers. Gamma R remains constant. If gamma R remains constant, then we can write gamma A plus gamma G equals to gamma A plus gamma G of second method, like that. So, next application in this, certain amount of liquid is taken into the container certain amount of liquid is taken into the container. So, here the condition is volume of unoccupied part remains constant, volume of unoccupied part remains constant at all temperatures. That is the question, concept it is. Volume of unoccupied part remains constant at all temperatures. So, when this condition will happen? So, that is the situation here. See here, that is the concept. This is the container. So, let us say the liquid level filled up to this point, the liquid level filled up to the point A. Here, let gamma R is coefficient of real expansion, of container, and gamma G is the coefficient of real expansion of liquid it is. Container does not have real expansion. So, gamma R is the quotient of real expansion of the liquid and gamma G is the quotient of volume expansion of container, like this. So, this is the two conditions here, and here the condition is, so the liquid level occupies up to the point A. This is the liquid, whatever it is. And what is the question here? Volume of the unoccupied part remains constant at all temperatures. Volume of the unoccupied part remains constant at all temperatures. That means, so this is the volume of the unoccupied part. That means empty space in the container. Volume of the unoccupied part means empty space of the container. So, that means the liquid occupies up to this extent only. Liquid occupies up to here. So the remaining part remains constant. Volume of the unoccupied part remains constant at all temperatures. That means whatever is the increase in temperature, the free space remains constant. This value does not changes. Let us say this length is 4 centimeters. For example, whatever is the increase in temperature, the 4 centimeters remains constant. When this will happen? That is the concept here. Then how this will happen? So let us say the length of the unoccupied column is 4 centimeters. Length of the unoccupied column is 4 centimeters. Whatever is the rise in temperature, this 4 centimeters always remains constant. That 4 centimeters always remains constant. When this will happen? So that is concept. So here, when this will happen means, whatever is the expansion of the container, the liquid also expands the same, then this part remains constant. Of course, due to increase in temperature, so if we supply heat energy to the container, so definitely container gets heated. So that after that, the heat energy is supplied to the liquid and then liquid also gets heated. In this situation, if the volume expansion of the container is equal to volume expansion of the liquid, that means whatever is the expansion of the container, how much the container expands, if the liquid also expands the same, then this value remains constant. That is the concept. So when this will happen means, if volume expansion of container is equal to, if volume expansion of the container is equal to expansion of liquid, if the volume expansion of the container equal to the expansion of the liquid, then the volume of the unoccupied part remains constant. That is the concept. So volume expansion of the container. So let us say change in volume, delta V of glass, let us say, that is equal to, container is let us say glass or solid, whatever it is, glass I am considering here. So that is equals to delta V of liquid. Volume expansion of the glass is equals to volume expansion of the liquid. Then the volume of the unoccupied part remains constant at all temperature. Volume of the unoccupied part remains constant at all temperatures. That is the concept here. Now, delta Vg is equals to delta V of liquid. Delta Vg in the sense, we know gamma is equals to V2 minus V1 by V1 into delta T. From this, gamma into V into delta T, V2 minus V1 can be written as delta V. For our convenience, we can write delta V is equals to V2 minus, delta V is equals to V gamma delta T. So in this situation, so delta V of glass can be written as volume of the glass into gamma of the glass into delta T. Delta V glass is equals to delta V of glass ante, delta V of glass means volume of the glass into gamma of the glass into delta T. In the same way, volume of the liquid, gamma of liquid into delta T. Delta T same in those two situations, same rise in temperature. So now from this we can write Vg into gamma G is equals to VL into gamma L, in the sense gamma R, gamma L, quotient of volume expansion of the liquid, that is nothing but real expansion. Quotient of volume expansion of the liquid is nothing but quotient of real expansion. Vg gamma g is equals to VL into gamma r. Vg gamma g equals to VL into gamma r. So, that is the relation. When this relation, so this is the concept. Volume of the unoccupied part remains constant at all temperatures. So, in that situation, when this will happen, if the volume expansion of the container is equal to expansion of the liquid. So, that means whatever is the expansion in the container, the liquid also expands the same, then only this will happen. So, what is the condition here? Volume of the glass into gamma of the glass is equals to volume of the liquid into gamma of the liquid. Gamma of the liquid is nothing but quotient of real expansion. So, here if gamma g is equals to 3 alpha g, so because volume expansion of the container can be written as 3 times the quotient of linear expansion, gamma equals to 3 alpha, we know the relation. So, from this Vg is equals to 3 alpha g is equals to VL into gamma r. VL into gamma r. In this situation, let us say if volume of the liquid is equal to half that of the volume of the glass. This is the actual concept it is. In this situation, if volume of the liquid is equals to, liquid column occupies half that of the level of the glass. Let us say volume of the glass is Vg. If the liquid occupies exactly half that of the volume of the vessel, if the liquid occupies half that of the volume of the vessel, then what happens? If VL is equals to Vg by 2, then here Vg into 3 alpha g is equals to VL into gamma r. But VL can be written as Vg by 2. Vg gets cancelled. Therefore, gamma r is equals to 3 into 6 alpha g. If the liquid occupies exactly half that of the solid, if the liquid occupies exactly half that of the volume of the glass, then what is the quotient of real expansion of the liquid? Quotient of real expansion of the liquid is equals to 6 times the quotient of linear expansion of the glass. 6 times the quotient of linear expansion of the glass. So, that is the concepts. Yes. Next. So, in this some problems based on buoyancy force. So, you people know about buoyancy force. So, net upward force acting on a body when it is immersed in liquid. If any body immersed in liquid, what is the net upward force acting on that body due to liquid? That is called buoyancy force. So, this temperature variation of temperature of the liquid also buoyancy also varies with the temperature. So, in case of mechanical properties of fluids, that is one chapter we have, mechanical properties of fluids, we can discuss about buoyancy. At that time we can discuss about this, how the buoyancy varies with the temperature, everything, because at the right now, so most of the people do not know about the buoyancy force, how it will be calculated like that. So, later we can discuss about that at the time of the chapter mechanical properties of fluids. So, now here in this situation, so let us do some problems based on this. So, liquid with quotient of real expansion is heated in a vessel with quotient of linear expansion, then the level of the liquid. So, given that quotient example problems, let us say it is quotient of real expansion is equals to 27 into 10 power minus 6, the given condition is, and the quotient of linear expansion alpha is given as 9 into 10 power minus 6. Then the level of the liquid. So, from based on this, gamma g can be written as 3 alpha, 3 into 9 into 10 to the power of minus 6, 27 into 10 to the power of minus 6. Gamma r and gamma g is same. We got the relation gamma r is equals to gamma g. So, from the relation gamma r is equals to gamma a plus gamma g, if gamma r equals to gamma g, then gamma a equals to 0. If gamma a equals to 0, what is the relation? The liquid level rises or falls or remains same? Remains same. See here, given that all gamma r is given as 27 into 10 power minus 6 and alpha is given as 9 into 10 power minus 6. But quotient of volume expansion gamma g equals to 3 alpha, gamma g equals to 27 into 10 power minus 6. And from this, gamma r and gamma g must be same. If these two are same, gamma a is 0. If gamma a is 0 means the liquid level remains same. Next. So, next problem, next one more example. The fraction of the volume of the glass flask, must be filled with mercury so that volume of the empty space may be same at all temperatures. Volume of the empty space remains constant at all temperatures. If volume of the empty space given as volume of the glass into gamma of the glass is equals to volume of the liquid into gamma of the liquid is nothing but quotient of real expansion. So, that is the condition. Here the given question is volume of the empty space is same at all temperatures. Volume of the empty space is same at all temperatures. And given that alpha of glass is given as alpha of the glass is 9 into 10 power minus 6 and gamma of real expansion is given as 18.9 into 10 to the power of minus 5. 18.5 into 10 to the power of minus 5. This is the given condition. So, what we have to calculate here is, so from this volume of the glass into this can be written as 3 alpha g. So, volume of the liquid into gamma r. So, this from this VL by Vg can be written as fractional volume VL by Vg. What is the fractional volume we have to consider? Fractional volume we have to take. So, that is VL by Vg is equals to 3 alpha g by gamma r. Fractional volume of the liquid, that means how much amount of liquid is taken into the container. So, that is called fractional volume. Fractional volume means volume of the liquid divided by volume of the glass. Volume of the liquid divided by volume of the glass. 3 alpha g. 3 into alpha is 9 into 10 power minus 6 divided by 18.9 into 10 to the power of minus 5. So, from this 3 into 9 divided by 189 it is. Minus 6 comes to the denominator, it is plus 6. Minus 5 plus 6, 1. 18.9 into 10, 189. 9 2s are 9 1s are, that is 3 by 21, that is equals to 1 by 7. If the liquid is taken into the 1/7 of the container, if the liquid is taken into the 1/7 of the container, then the volume of the liquid, volume of the unoccupied part remains constant. So, that is the formula. Next, Next example. So given that the quotient of real expansion of a liquid is 5 times the quotient of linear expansion of the material of the container in which the liquid is present. Given that quotient of real expansion is 5 times the quotient of linear expansion of the material of the container in which the liquid is present, then the ratio of quotient of apparent expansion and real expansion of the liquid is ratio of coefficient of apparent expansion and real expansion. So given that this is, then we can find out, find gamma A by gamma R. That's the question. Given that gamma R is equals to phi alpha g, then find gamma A by gamma R. But first, from the relation gamma R is equals to gamma A plus gamma g, gamma R is given as phi alpha g, gamma A plus 3 alpha g it is. Gamma g can be written as 3 alpha g. So from this, phi alpha g minus 3 alpha g is equals to gamma A. So 2 alpha g is equals to gamma A. So therefore, gamma A by gamma R is equals to, gamma A is 2 alpha g, gamma R is phi alpha g. So that is equals to 2 by 5 or 2:5. So next, next point, next example, let us say. Next example. For a liquid when heated in a vessel, it is found that gamma A is equals to 6 by 7 gamma R. For a liquid when heated in a vessel, it is found that gamma A is equals to 6 by 7 gamma R. Then the quotient of expansion of the linear expansion of the vessel is, then find quotient of linear expansion of the glass. That's we have to find out. Given that gamma A is equals to 6 by 7 gamma R. So we know the relation gamma R is equals to gamma A plus gamma G. Gamma R is equals to, in place of gamma A, 6 by 7 gamma R plus, so this is 3 alpha G. So gamma R minus 6 by 7 gamma R is equals to 3 alpha G. So gamma R common, 1 minus 6 by 7 is equals to 3 alpha G. Because the value of gamma is given 6 by 7 gamma R. So that means gamma R into 6 by 7, that is 1 by 7. So 3 alpha G. So therefore alpha G is equals to gamma R by 7 by 3. So gamma R by 21. Alpha G is equals to gamma R by 21. So next, one more question. If gamma is the quotient of real expansion of the liquid, then the temperature at which density of the liquid is 1% of its density at 0 degree Celsius. given that gamma is the quotient of real expansion, no doubt about that. And if density at 0 degree Celsius is equals to rho 1 and density at final temperature is equals to rho 2, but here rho 2 is given as 1% of rho 1. So, rho 2 is given as 1% of rho 1, that is the given question. Gamma is the quotient of real expansion of the liquid, then the temperature at which density of the liquid is 1% of density at 0. Density at final temperature is 1, that means with increase in temperature density must be decreases. We know about that. Due to increase in temperature, density of the liquid must be decreases. So, based on this, we know rho 1 is equals to rho 2 into 1 plus gamma delta T. We know the relation, variation of density with the temperature. So, rho 1 is equals to rho 2 is 1% of rho 1 into 1 plus gamma delta T. So, rho 1% means 1 by 100, rho 1 into 1 plus gamma delta T. So, rho 100 is equals to 1 plus gamma delta T. So, 99 is equals to gamma delta T. Delta T is equals to 99 by gamma. Delta T is equals to 99 by. Delta T in the sense we know T2 minus T1 is equals to 99 by gamma. So, T2 minus T1 is 0, that is the given condition. So, T is equals to 99 gamma. At this temperature, the density of the liquid becomes 1% of its initial volume. If the temperature rises to this much, then density becomes 1% of its initial volume. So, that is the condition. Next.